Everything changes, grows, and evolves not only for survival but for greater sustainability. What is amazing is that what sustains these changes and developments are at the very core of the entity itself. Accountancy and its continuous growth in the Philippines is sustained by one big name, Picpa, the Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants. For the fiscal year 2019 to 2020, following the theme, Reinforcing the Future, Together Today, we present to you the true substance of Picpa, the 14 quintessential gears embodying Picpa's core essence, the structures and functions that make Picpa what it is, the gears that truly make Picpa the Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Gear 1. Picpa and PRC. We at Picpa continuously play our roles as PRC's partner and support stakeholder. We gave our utmost support and participation to the PRC CSR projects, which included PRC's outreach program for victims of the Taal volcano eruption, gift giving for IPs at Sitio Bawi, Barangay Tubo-Tubo, Dinalupihan, Bataan, and not to forget Sibol para sa Kalikasan. Truly, at Picpa, we value our collaborative partnership with PRC as a source of our empowerment as a professional institution. Gear 2. Picpa's CPD program. Picpa's advocacy for continuing professional development is probably as big as our institution.
Picpa has conducted numerous CPD events in the fiscal year 2019-2020, and they include the Accountancy Week celebration or AWC technical sessions, the first National FRSC Public Forum, various regional, sectoral, and Gauss summits, Cooperative Development Forum, and many other seminars and conferences and conventions, the biggest of which was the ANC held in Lawag City. Picpa and its chapters have also delivered countless seminars on taxation, audit, and many other modules on the technical and professional competence areas, including a Train the Trainer module conducted for the furtherance of the professional development of Picpa's resource speakers. The Picpa National Office has also conducted review classes for an ACCA course on financial management as part of Picpa's partnership terms with the Singapore office of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants or ACCA. Truly, continuing professional development is at the core of Picpa's service to its members.
Gear 3. Picpa's Corporate Direction 2019.
This year's theme, Reinforcing the Future, Together Today, is proudly the basis of our board's objective for the year, the adoption and integration of internationally accepted and acclaimed professional and ethical standards of practices that raise the Filipino accountants to the tiers of global excellence. These are some of our achievements based on the 5-point trust for the year. These are the elements that have been both our driving forces and our objectives, our targets, as well as our benchmarks in reaching these achievements. Our direction this year is aptly summarized with the acronym CARES.
Above all these, Picpa is a 5-time recipient of PRC's Award for Most Outstanding Accredited Professional Organization, APO, most recent of which was received by Picpa in June 2019. Gear 4. Corporate Social Responsibility, CSR. In Picpa, we are also very active in helping the society in other aspects. From Isabela to Cagayan de Oro and Misamis Oriental, we engage our members in environment sustainability projects, medical mission programs, academic financial assistance, general social welfare, and other cost-oriented activities that promote financial literacy, health and sports, and general well-being of various communities nationwide. Close to the heart of the National Board are not just the people but also the environment. Picpa celebrates its tradition every third week of July by tree planting as part of the annual Picpa Tanim and other ecology conservation and environment greening efforts. This is Picpa's humble contribution to environmental consciousness, responding to the global call for re-greening the earth. And of course, whenever there is a natural disaster or a calamity that devastates the country, especially when hit hard are the areas of the small and already marginalized people, the Picpa National Office, Picpa Regional Offices, and Picpa chapters never waste time to help the hundreds of thousands of people in the affected areas. Year 5, Picpa's Cohesive Network. Picpa has many activities that involve all its members nationwide, and it has very close professional ties with the 4 sectoral organizations: ACPA, ACPAC, NACPAE, and GACPA. Annual Planning Conference, June 29 to 30, 2019, Baguio Country Club. 2019 Picpa Accountancy Week Celebration, July 14 to 20, 2019, EDSA Shangri-La Hotel, Mandaluyong City. The Association of CPAs in Mindanao Conference, August 23 to 24, 2019, Iligan City. Picpa Metro Manila Region, 7th Regional Accountants Forum, September 5 to 8, 2019, Boracay, Aklan. ACPAP 19th Annual National Convention, September 19 to 20, 2019, Boracay Island, Aklan. ACPAC's Annual National Convention, September 12 to 14, 2019, Marriott Hotel, Iloilo City. Accounting Teachers International Conference, October 24 to 26, 2019, Bali, Indonesia. More Picpa national activities. The 74th Picpa Annual National Convention, November 20 to 22, 2019, Lawag City. Gear 6, Catalyst of National Progress through Relevant Leadership Initiatives. For Picpa, the meaning of the organization progressing to the next level is concomitant to being instrumental to solutions to issues of national concern. This is a vital part, in fact, the pinnacle of all Picpa's corporate mission.
For the year 2019, there are a few of Picpa's humble achievements that has directly or indirectly impacted the country's progress. Picpa has been a faithful taxpayer and a top withholding agent as ever. Picpa has supported BIR tax campaigns nationwide. Picpa stood up in the forefront of building the Philippine economy through its involvement in the Pilipinas Angat Lahat Alliance. Picpa maintained its continuous participation at the ONCAC. Picpa collaborated with Anti-Money Laundering Council or AMLAC. Picpa collaborated with LINTI in safeguarding the political mandate of the Filipino people. Picpa forged a memorandum of understanding with the Integrated Bar of the Philippines. Picpa collaborated with the World Bank project on enhancing the capacity of small, medium practitioners and micro, small, and medium enterprises, particularly in the remote areas of the country.
Year 7, Picpa's symbiotic relationship with PRC and BOA.
In Picpa, we are proud to claim we constantly coordinate and collaborate with both the Board of Accountancy and the Professional Regulatory Commission or PRC. Last year, Picpa as usual provided full assistance to PRC and to BOA in the conduct of new CPAs' oath-taking ceremonies. Picpans also participated in various PRC and BOA events, meetings, and activities, which included the POP-RP and the PRC-sponsored 8th Philippine Professional Summit. Picpa's biggest collaboration with BOA last year was its contribution to the PRC vision of the 5-year accountancy roadmap, particularly on the drafting of the sectoral competency frameworks and of the PRC Career Progression Specialization Program through the efforts of our Picpa PRC CPD Council. Also, Picpa maintains its role as a partner of PRC and BOA in the ASEAN Monitoring Committee on Professional Accountancy Services of the Philippines for the conferment of ASEAN Chartered Professional Accountants title to Filipino CPAs.
With Picpa, BOA, and PRC working together, the mutual goals of lifting the Filipino professionals to a global level are truly within reach. Gear 8, Picpa's Smooth Transitions, Progressive Transformations. On May 16, 2019, Picpa conducted its countrywide peaceful elections that was well participated in by its members. As always, after the elections, the newly elected Picpa FY 2019-2020 leaders were welcomed by the previous administration who prepared the turnover and inauguration rites for the newly elected Picpa leaders nationwide. On June 16, 2020, with the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and by the quarantine imposed by the government, Picpa embarked on its first ever online elections. Gear 9, Picpa, maintaining its IPO culture. Maintaining integration and uplifting membership is Picpa's utmost organizational concern. Continuous efforts are exerted by the Picpa leaders and officers to keep the members interested and engaged.
Picpa maintains its IPO culture by promoting its membership. Last year was one of Picpa's biggest donations ever offered in the membership reactivation program, when it wrote off all membership arrears to a discounted 1,000 pesos, regardless of the number of years members missed paying. Picpa also continues to offer discounts to members in good standing on all Picpa CPD events, including regional and international conferences. Picpa promotes the spirit of brotherhood and professional and social networking through its digital communication and social media platforms. Through the event bank and Zoom, Picpa was able to surmount the challenge of the COVID-19 pandemic. Collectively and just within the span of 2.5 months, Picpa National, MMR, and all other regions and chapters have already conducted more than 70 free webinars on all 3 competence areas, attended online by more than 45,000 participants, majority of which are Picpans.
Gear 10, Picpa's International Gathering of Professionals. In May 2019, Picpa MMR conducted their conference in Amsterdam in the Netherlands with the theme Shaping Up for the Digital Future, while Picpa Vismin scheduled theirs a month after in Dubai, UAE. Through these conferences, the Filipino CPAs are internationally exposed to and are given a glimpse of the true global scenario, from the vastly competitive professional arena up to the social and cultural insightful experiences derived from participating in the conference. Gear 11, Picpa's relevant publications nationwide. Most of the Picpa chapters now have their own publication of newsletter and bulletin that document their past activities as well as announce the chapter's upcoming projects. Some of these newsletters are published as hard copies, while some are digitally published monthly or quarterly. Most members of the chapter rely on these to stay updated with the latest what's and who's in their chapter, both on the professional and social context. As its environmentally consensuous response to the global campaign to support actions that sustain the ecosystem, Picpa has decided to minimize its use of paper and has opted to maximize its website's capability by bringing to the members digital information that do not only include Picpa news updates, seminar listings, and announcements, but also the actual content of technical materials, such as the audit guide for SMEs and many other relevant documents. Gear 12, Picpa's FS Submission.
Picpa submits FS diligently and punctually to BIR and SEC. This year, Picpa submitted again, early not just on time, its audited financial statements and schedules, income tax return, general information sheet, non-stock corporation mandatory disclosure form, reports to the corresponding regulatory agencies, as well as a summary of financials for fiscal period June 30, 2019 to Picpa's Board of Directors.
Gear 13, Picpa's headquarters and chapter-owned buildings. Picpa owns its national office building located in the city of Mandaluyong, barely 100 meters away from EDSA, the main thoroughfare of the city. Aside from this, other Picpa chapters in the different key cities also have their own offices, a clear evidence of how well Picpa manages its assets to move up, go forward, and ahead. Gear 14, Picpa's financial solvency.
Picpa is in a strong financial position with healthy levels of solvency and liquidity such that it doesn't need to borrow money. Its funds are invested in short-term and medium-term investments through investments management agreements with accredited banks. Here are the Picpa financial figures for fiscal year 2019 and 2020. Picpa financial highlights. Picpa financial components. Combined statements of revenue and expenses. And Picpa's assets, liabilities, fund balances, and gross revenue. We're also proud to present Picpa's solvency and other relevant financial ratios. Debt to equity ratio, equity ratio or fund balance to total assets ratio, debt ratio, liquidity analysis, current ratio, and quick assets ratio. Indeed, these figures have spoken. Picpa is a financially sound and stable organization.
Picpa is a well-greased, power-packed running machine which empowers not only its own gears, its systems, and its overall structure, but more importantly, it sustains its overall synergetic support components, its institutional collaborators, its stakeholders, its own people. After all, these are what make Picpa the Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants. This we know, and for this, we will continue to be in the service of our members, of our stakeholders, of our country, of mankind, all for the greater glory of God.